Alright, so this is going to be my last video for the Zendikar Unified Pauper Sealed League. And this is ZombieNeko's pool and how I would have built his deck on week 5. I came to the same conclusion as him, that Mardu is the correct choice. Mardu, no mountains is how I'd run this. Basically you have Teetering Peaks, Smoldering Spires, and Looming Spires, all the red lands. With Holdout Settlement and Unknown Shores and Prophetic Prison helping you splash the red cards as well. You also get another utility land in Sandstone Bridge. So the essence of this deck, it's kind of like a Mardu Allies deck. You have a bunch of allies. You have 1 in War Cleric, the Brigand is 2, 3 is Envoy, 4 Sky Climber, 5 Sellsword, 6 Chain Mage, 7 Shadow Skull Recruit. Yeah, 7's a good amount. And in this stack here, you've got tons of ways to deal with creatures. This equal to converted mana cost, so you have a lot of ways to deal with. Despair is only the iffy one, but it can kill 3 to 5 drops potentially, or 3 to 5 toughness creatures. Journey and Judgment can kill anything. Touch, Stagger Shot, Blast Kiss, Get His Approach all kill some smaller type creatures. And in general, you get a pretty beat down style deck. You get a lot of evasion. This Tapper performed. You get the best card in Dawnglare Invoker. Hookmaster I think is pretty good. Just being a curve filler and making blocking more difficult for the opponent, since your deck looks to be wanting to deal damage and kind of being aggressive. Your lands deal extra damage. Your guy can get menace. This guy can deal unblockable damage. You have a lot of evasion, ways to make your guys bigger, ways to burn them out with Stagger Shock and Touch of the Void from 7 life. So if you can deal 13 damage, you're good. So of course, Hookmaster I think helps with that plan. None of the allies really have too many synergy with each other than Chain Mage and War Cleric. Just want one buddy for cohorting. So the last cards to not make the cut here for me were Crumbling Vestige. I don't think we need another source for the Kozilek Shrieker, and it's just not a permanent fixing source, so I don't want it. Unnatural Endurance, I'd bring this in against decks with removal that doesn't exile, or if our creatures were getting in combat, like Ghostly Sentinels fighting off against each other would be good. Cluster Healer's close, but I just don't think it really is a card that has too big of an impact other than the life gain, and there's only 7 allies, so it's not enough. You could have more with Afro Protector. I think this card is solid, and could potentially be better than like a Hookmaster, just because it is sort of big, but it's a little weak. I think the deck wants to be a little bit more aggressive. Dutiful Return I like against decks packing a lot of removal that doesn't exile your creatures, so you can win the late game. And Hyena Umbra, if they don't have too many bounce spells or exiling effect removal, this card can dominate combat. So definitely play it in decks that I don't think it would get 2 for 1 very often. But yeah, this deck is pretty good. I would not be unhappy to play it. It's got a good mix of removal and creatures and synergy. The rest of the pool, let's see, sort by color. The rest of the pool here, we've got some vanilla allies, some other lands that aren't super helpful. I did like the green a lot, but it's just all top end. It's really good 6 drops. Good 5 drop. Really good 5 drop. Good 5 drop. Relic Crush is pretty good card. It would have been a 6 sideboard card against me. It kills like Prophetic Prism, Pilgrim's Eye, Narcolepsy, Tightening Coils, Journey to Nowhere, Isolation Zone. Can you imagine killing 2 of those with this card? That would be such a blowout. Mold Shambler, also very good. Giant Mantis, good. Another ally in Turjaru Stalwart. 2/3's a little weak. Cleatheart's good for the life gain. So just not a good low curve. We don't have that many creatures. I could see one Lava Fume Invoker being playable too. But I'm splashing red. I guess this only wants to show up in the late game, but I'm just trying to splash red. I don't want too many red cards. It's not that good on its own either. Solitaire Expedition's basically just like Dutiful Return, except requires you to cast it early. It's just a bad top deck, so we'd rather have Dutiful Return. And yeah, all these other cards are just pretty medium. The blue cards are all pretty bad, not enough of them. And we already looked at the white cards. Yeah. Very happy to play this deck, and if Zombie, you're watching this video, definitely comment and let me know which cards overperformed or underperformed in your experience, and maybe how off I am from the build. I think I've seen you play the deck a couple of times, so I think I'm close to what you built, but probably a little bit different. So that is the Zombie. Now let's look at the Forli. And to this day, as of right now, I do not know which deck or which player is going to receive first place. They are tied. So, should be... to break the tie for those two, for overall standings, not just the week winner. When you're talking about the week, who won the week, it's if they were both 5-0, which I don't think they were, but even if they were both 5-0, I think it should be the strongest opponent's schedule. So basically, add up all the points of your opponents that week for just those week's matches, and whoever had the higher total had the stronger opponent's schedule. And you win from there. But when you're playing for the overall standings for first place in the entire Zendikar Unified Pauper Sealed League, I think what you actually have to do is count up your opponent's total wins for the entire league. That's kind of tough though, because you play different opponents each time. I don't know how to do it. Maybe you have to add up. Yeah, that's a lot of adding up to do. I don't know. Maybe that's not worth the trouble. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to break the tie. But anyway, let's look at this deck. So I definitely settled on the same colors as Forli did, a blue-white deck splashing red. And let's see what I came up with. He is the worst part about his deck is that it only has Evolving Wilds for fixing. But it turns out, I guess, I'm splashing white even more than red. But this is what I decided to do. Win Zendikon, I believe, is a good card because it can go on one of his 3 utility lands, Sunstone Bridge, Sanctuary Step, Halimar Depths, to get more use out of it. And it's just a 2/2 flyer, which can come down on turn 2 and start attacking, which I think is quite strong since he doesn't have really... He's only got 11 creatures and not many of them attack very well. But he's got so much good removal. So let's see what we've got removal-wise. Jeez, look at this. Shoulder's not removal, but it makes his creatures pretty strong. Look at this. It's got some more card advantage. Oh, Mysteries of the Deep is actually one of my favorites. And a Heat Ray, jeez. Yeah, this deck is just like a better version of mine because it doesn't need to play a 4th color. Because it just has so much good removal in these colors. So yeah, it doesn't have a Dawnglare Invoker, but it does have a Frostwind Invoker. So it can give flying to Banisher, Oracle, another Oracle, Seagate, Battle Drone, Predator, and these Wave Watches if they're not already unblockable from the Island Walk. So Frostwind Invoker is actually not that strong in his deck, just because he doesn't have that many huge creatures. But looking at the rest of the deck here, the Wave Watches are just unreal good. They play early defense and they're just must-answer threats. A 6/6 is huge, so the level up is actually really easy to do 2 at a time. I'd rather have 2 at a time for 5 times rather than 5 2 times. It's just so much easier to do. Sky Spawner's great. Oracle's great. I'm not sure if he played Nettle Drone. I never saw it. But he does have a couple colorless spells in Oracle of Dust and Spell Shrivel. It's just an unblockable creature. Unblockable wave dealing damage. And if he has so much removal that he can clear the way for it, it can just get in for a decent amount of damage. So I'm a fan of this and Vent Sentinel and other sources. Valakut Predator, don't know if you played this card, but I think it's just a good on-curve 3-drop. Something that feels good to be attacking with. You know, Evolving Wilds makes it good. Frostwind Invoker makes it good. Just having some power seems solid. It's not the most defensive creature, but he's got plenty of removal for that. The Griffin's great. Banisher's great. Oracle of Dust. We have Spell Shrivel. I guess is the only way to exile things. So we're not going to be drawing a bunch of cards, but even looting once with it would be very much appreciated. Smite, I definitely like. We're in a defensive position with these Wave Watches. It's just a really good re-tricking card. We got some ways to close out the game with Burst Lightning and Stagger Shock if we ever get them low enough. Sheer Drop, Narcolepsy. I played these cards too. They're just insane. Mysteries of the Deep. Draw 3 cards when you have landfall. Just can't be. That kind of card advantage is just can't be beat. One of the best in the format. Here, yeah. So just all the best removals. Looking at his sideboard, let's see what the closest cards were. These Kite Sails were interesting. He had some green fatties, but no removal, so nothing really enticing there. Red again. I saw him play this Slide Runner against me. The card's just bad. I would have played Kozilek Sentinel probably before playing that, just because it doesn't fit the game plan of trying to attack. The black, I did like a few cards. Cadaver Imp, Dead Reckoning, the Shrieker, Giant Scorpion. Fits more the colorless theme, kind of the red-black deck maybe. Snow Champion's good. Complete Disregard is good. Double Clasper Healer is interesting, but probably not likely. Corrupted Xenocon, 3/3 haste, so interesting little potential for some sort of black-red aggro deck or something with these Slide Runners. Just a bunch of other small creatures. I guess a bad ally. I guess you play these healers and haste, so you actually do get a lot of allies. This Enforcer is actually pretty good. Yeah, so there's basically an entire... I guess you could play these Kite Sails as well. Pretty good in an aggro deck. So there's already 18 playables here in a black-red aggro deck. Blue... That's not already in the deck, no. White Guard Duty is close, but he's just got plenty of other removal. Searing Light is close, but I wouldn't play that unless you know it's going to have good targets. A second Smite could definitely come in if your opponent's pretty aggressive and doesn't have ways of dealing with your creatures. And a couple other allies, but these creatures are just kind of mediocre. So, I could play a black-red aggro deck too. That's 18, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red removal spells. Wow. So that's 24. You could run a 16 land, 24 deck. Problem is you're giving up the utility of all of your lands and your card advantage cards, like the best cards in your pool are Sheer Drop and Mysteries of the Deep. But you do get to replace it with a deck that can actually attack. But Halimar Wave Watches just stop that pretty well. And you lose some evasion creatures in Skyspawner, Griffin, and Frostwind Invoker. But just for giggles, I kind of want to look at the curve now. So we're just going to leave these red cards. Take out these white and blue cards. And we don't really need these lands. We'll assume we have one Evolving Wilds. And these 18 look good. Could even run this on the top end of the curve. This card's interesting. It's pretty aggressive. How about this Vampire? Multi-kicker. It's got Swamp Walk, so it's probably sideboard. How about this Ruinous Mentor? Sack a land. I think that's pretty huge, actually. Deals damage to an opponent, not a creature, so you can attack pretty aggressively with that. The Invoker, yeah, look at this. This deck's got some interesting cards. A lot of options. Problem that I have with these decks is if they don't come out of the gates roaring, then they just get behind. So let's look at the curve and some removal. It's like a 3-drop. So none of the removals really remotely cuttable. This guy, I guess you want creatures that are good in the early game and good in the late game. So I like healers, which means any ally is going to get the nod. This card could be a 4/2 and it's on curve. I don't know. Might be a little slow. I like that. I like 1 Kite Sail. Maybe not 2. Yeah, probably aggressive to have 2. This guy is not aggressive enough. This guy is a Human Berserker ally. Another allies enter the battlefield. May have allies get +1/+0 and haste, so it's like a 2/1 haste for 2. And works with other humans. I like it. This card's just a 1/1 for 1. I don't think it's good enough, even if it deals some amount of damage. This card's close. We'll see. Removal's not getting cut. Dominator Drone, again, can deal some straight damages. Probably makes this Kozilek Sentinel even better, which means the Shrieker's good. Allies are good. Imp is card advantage and some evasion. Did Reckoning. Put target creature card from a graveyard, top of your library. Equal the card's power to target creature. Okay. Not the greatest card because not a lot of the creatures have a high power. Zendikon 3/3 haste, I think it's strong. Predator's strong. Drone is strong. I don't think we're getting to 8 mana with this deck, so Invoker's a little weak. Scorpion's a little weak. It doesn't attack very aggressively. Slaughter Cry is pretty good against big blockers that they may have. I like having some late game mana sinks here that are also good in the early game, or at least curvable, more so than things like this that are too defensive. We don't really want to draw too many lands beyond 4, so this is bad. Slaughter Cry is not necessarily removal, but it's close. 3 mana, 3/2. Not the best, but could be good enough with this removal suite. We just want to play dudes and have removal. I'm at 26, probably need at least 2 more cuts if we keep our curve low. I could cut Yeah, I could cut these too. Since this sacks us a land, if we're going to play 16 land, it goes something like this. Yeah, curve is pretty low, a lot of 2s and 3s, but we don't really want to hit, too many land with this deck. And if we just draw removal spells and a good curve, we're probably just going to deal them tons of damage. We have, a lot of sources of damage. So yeah, this looks good. The Shrieker, we can't really give Menace, though. So it's just another 3/2 for 3. Not the best, I guess, but 3 power is a lot of power. Yeah, so fun to kind of look at to see. We have mana sinks if shall we need them. In our Null Champion and Zulaport Enforcer. But overall, yeah, I think the Jeskai build is better, more card advantage, and this deck is maybe would have been a good deck to sideboard into, but yeah, pretty fun. I don't know. I wonder again if Forli, if you're watching this, I'm wondering if you considered this build. Did you try it? Did you play any games with it? And did you just find out that it was actually just really bad? I imagine a lot of these 2-drops and 3-drops get outclassed really quickly. Like if you have like a 4 land or a 5 land opening hand, it's almost just like a mulligan because you're going to get behind on card quality really quickly. And you really just want to curve out. You want to go 2-drop, 3-drop, 2-2-drops, and then just play removal spells for the rest of the game. So yeah, interesting deck, but I like the Jeskai deck better. But yeah, I would implore you guys to join the next league. It's going to be Ravnica Unified Constructed, which is going to be a pretty sweet format. So let me see if I can find the website here. Boom. Computer gonna load ever? I do. Like, I'm kind of a tab snob. I've got millions of tabs open. So yeah, so here's the website. Don't know what you have to type in exactly, but it's sites.google.com/site/pauper leagues, and then yeah, you'll get to Ravnica Unified here. So right now we've got Zendikar Unified. Ravnica Unified is going on, starting in a couple of weeks. I don't know if it's going to display who's already registered or not. Not quite yet. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm hoping that we get tons of turnout for it so that it's easier to play league matches. So I guess I gave some feedback from the league in the forum that Polyjack said, but other things to note here. One thing to note is we started out with a bunch of people, but as you can see, all these people just like didn't really play or didn't have time, or they dropped, or they tried to get new packs and they just didn't do well. I don't know if the prize structure was any consequence, but I really would have liked to have seen a flat prize structure where instead of 2, 4, 6, 8 or increasing prize structure each week, you're just rewarding the people at the top. And if your pool is good, it's more likely to get better as time goes on, and now you're encouraging people at the top to play a ton more and people at the bottom to play a ton less. And so I kind of see that happening where in the last 2 weeks, it was really hard to find a game with people if they weren't like in this region right here. So yeah, overall, I think there needs to be a more flat prize structure, and it doesn't need to be that big of a prize structure each week to week. these leagues are more about fun than competition, I think. It's just about creating a community that likes this kind of event. What else do we have? The re-roll option is perfect, except I would almost never choose it. I like that it is an option that you can re-roll for a completely new set, but look, if you're re-rolling on week 3 and you're only getting 7 new packs when someone like me has 7 new packs plus 2 additional packs, I'm just up 20 cards on you. It's like doing a draft and I just got 20 more picks. The picks are at random, but I'll still take 20 more picks. Just the likelihood that my deck is much stronger than yours is going to be so high. The price to re-rolling is too high, so I would do a couple things to change with re-rolling. I would say you can only re-roll after week 1, because that's the most sense. If your pool is just awful after week 1, that's fine. You could totally recover from that point. But you could also have a rule that says if you re-roll after week 1, like during week 2, 3, 4, or 5, you could get an equivalent to the number of packs that everybody else has. So you start with 7, and then you get 5 more as the weeks progress, so 12. So if you wanted to re-roll the last week, why not get 12 brand new packs? I think the main barrier to entry there is that it's just a lot of work to generate new packs for people, and to do a whole pool is a little annoying. And it would be awful if everybody kept doing that just for whatever reason. So again, my suggestion is make re-rolling maybe only an option after week 1, and then every week after that maybe just add a pool, add one to it. Or maybe if you re-roll once, you're allowed to re-roll again, but you will have the additional pack. So so week 1 you'll get 7. Week 2, if you want to re-roll, you actually get the full 8 packs, so you're not down a pack. And then talking to ZombieNeko, his suggestion was that you just lose some points, so you get penalized on the ladder here. So if you can go 5-0 in a week and get 15 points, maybe you have to forfeit, I don't know, half of your points from that week or something. Rounded up. I don't know. Just more bookkeeping things, which might be annoying, but just throwing out ideas, not necessarily concrete things. That makes sense. Other than that, the biggest change in scoring, I think, is perfect. The suggestion was 3-0, or winning gets you 3 points, losing gets you 1 point if it was 0-2, but if it's 1-2 and you actually won one game, then you get 2 points. And that is a great way to break some ties. That is just a perfect rule, actually. So then every game actually matters. And yeah, so you can see from the standings here, I ended with 56 points. The only 2 I see above me are Forli and Zombie at 63. I barely edged out Tommy V with 56 points, yeah, by 1. So, yeah. I'm not sure how he can have 9 and I can have 8 though. I went 2 and 3, which is 9 points. So I should have a 9 right here. Maybe that didn't get added yet. Maybe that wasn't automated. Huh. It was, huh. Well, I don't know. We'll wait for the official tally later from Paulie Jack here, but yeah, so it went week 1, 2 ticks, 3 ticks for week 2, 4 ticks for week 3, 5 ticks, 6 ticks. So I don't think it needed to scale up, but first place is going to get 10, second's going to get 6, and hopefully I snuck into third and get 4 ticks for my trouble. But yeah, all I did was help create the idea in the forums, and PolyJack really took it over and took it upon himself to make this league. So I'm eternally thankful that he did that. He put in a lot of work, and it's awesome. He basically did everything that I wanted to do, but that I don't have time to do. And also mentioned, Gwyned, Joe Cool, Zombie, all these guys are super helpful and really helping our community stay alive despite not having the filters of standard popper, but it's all the same guys here. And also want to give a big shout out to Tommy V. Tommy V has been helping PolyJack create the spreadsheets to help automate the scoreboard and the match results. He is what we like to call the spreadsheet scientist. Will be his new nickname from now on. So appreciate your help, Tommy V. And I had a lot of fun making these videos. Hopefully, you get to see a little bit into my psyche. I try to be objective. I try to not get too mad. I obviously have tendency to get mad when I lose, but hopefully it's all in a learning aspect so that I'm making less mistakes and seeing more as we will play this really, really awesome strategic mind puzzle game that is Magic. And I hope I can learn from my own videos just as much as hopefully some of you people out there watching can learn. So thoroughly appreciate you sticking around and listening. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to fire away. I will happily interact on YouTube comments easily. Alright, cool. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I'll probably try to do a similar thing for the Ravnica Unified Standard League, which I already have 3 decks built. Working on some more brews. Alright. Stay classy. Thanks for watching.